Hello folks and welcome to another Wise Gamer video. I know I haven't shot a video in the last couple of months, but World of Warcraft got kind of stale and now we got the new expansion out. It's live now. This is not beta. This is actually live footage, folks. That's right. Okay, and what we're going to be discussing in this time for this video is actually the PvP side of things when it comes to building your garrison. Now, I've done a lot of different research and whatnot the last few days to find out what's our best buildings to actually put our resources and our time into. That will give us the biggest benefit as far as PvP goes, especially doing the new place called Asherin, which is the new world PvP zone added to Warlords of Draenor. I will be making another video covering more about Asherin in the near future. But first, let's go over the garrison builds. The two buildings that most PvPers recommend right now is this one right here called the Gnomish Gear Workshop. It's basically like an engineer shop. I'm not level 3 yet because I just made this building a few days ago, so it's still level 2, so I still don't have all the benefits from this building yet, but some of the few benefits that it did give me has been helping. As we know with Asherin, if you've played Asherin already, it's pretty much of a big bottleneck Zerg. It's like 50 players versus 50 players, Horde and Alliance, of course. Me playing Alliance tune right at the moment. And on a melee tune, it's really tough to close that gap. You know, so we either like charge into a mess of Horde, get our ass kicked, and we're pretty much at the graveyard. Okay, unless we happen to be able to heroically fast enough out of there. Okay, so basically, the reason why this shop is really handy is because it's got some real nifty items that we could use again to close that gap and have some range. Okay, one of the first things it gave me was this sticky grenade launcher right here. Okay, and it works pretty damn good. It first does a little bit of damage when you first fire it at somebody, but then it ticks away for a little bit, and then it does massive, well, not massive, but it does like AoE damage to whichever other players are standing next to the targeted player. Okay, and then and it hits pretty good. It probably hits about as good as like my Blade Storm or something like that. Believe it or not. So that hits pretty good. And then we also have, you know, other items that I can't show at the moment right now because my building is not high enough for me to do so. But I understand that it has an item, and a buddy of mine had linked it to me the other day that he just got from his, that actually inflicts 500. That's right. This is not a mistake. I'm not saying 50,000. I'm not saying 5,000. 500,000 damage to a group of players. Okay, now we know 500,000 damage right now is devastating. Seeing we have the stat squish, and our health is really not that high. I'm sitting at just less than 200k myself right now. So we know that that's going to do some real massive devastating damage. Yeah, it's rather OP, I know it. And again, you could probably use a lot of these gadgets too for other kinds of activity in the game. You know, PvE, things like that. You know, I did see somebody actually use it with my own eyes, and it was pretty cool. I have to admit it. I just hope it never gets used against me, but eventually, I'm sure it will. Okay, so let's get started with this. Basically, at this workshop right here, each day when you come here, he should have something for you that you could try again. Now, this is the first time I'm getting this item right here called, I guess it's a Robo Rouster. I have no idea what that is. Okay, summons a Robo Rouster that will fight for you for 10 minutes. Yeah, that's pretty cool, right? I don't know where it's going to work, what zones it will work, but I'm sure we'll give that a shot and see what it does. Okay. There's a lot of other nifty gadgets that you could get from this shop, too. I got this one right here. Now, we know right now in Warlords of Draenor there is no flying in these zones. Now, there's a lot of talk going back and forth that a lot of players believe that they're probably going to end up coming out with the flying. Well, we just found out from the developers yesterday. They posted a website information page and things like that, stating that they will probably never ever put flying in these zones. Okay, because they want to get that old school feel again in this game. I don't blame them. But anyways, I know it's tough getting around right now, but again, it is what it is. So I'm going to show you one of these items I have right here that I got from this guy called the Sky Terra Personal Delivery System. You ready for this? Whee! Okay. Now if I hit it again, I think it makes me even go even higher up. See? And then it just mellows out. And it's a pretty cool way of kind of getting around. I kind of wish I didn't use it all right now, but it is what it is. I just wanted to show you guys for the video. I'm sure I could get another one later on. But it's a pretty cool way of just flying around in an area where there is no flying. So, again, this is from the Gnomish Gear Workshop. As far as landing with this thing, I don't really have a clue of how to get off of it, because I did try it the other day and I died. I went to click up here to turn off the buff, thinking it would just parachute me back down to safety, but I was wrong. I crashed to the ground, and before I know it, I was dead. So that's what happens there. Now it seems like eventually it is taking me back down gradually. Okay, and let's see, boom. Okay, so now we're good. All right, so that's a rough coverage of what this shop does right here. Okay, and again, that was the Gnomish Gear Workshop. Now this building right up here is probably the most important building you could have as a PvPer right now. It's another way of getting honor points, sometimes even some actual gear pieces they give you, and I've even gotten conquest once. The conquest may only be something that they give you one time a week. It's kind of like a reset type thing or a cooldown, but I did get 90 conquests once from this, and I'll explain how this works. This is actually called the Gladiator sanctum. Okay, and the Gladiator sanctum is made strictly for PvPers. If you're a PvE player in the game and you don't really do any PvP, this building will probably do you no good, and I'm going to explain why. We got this guy. His name is Koros. I guess he is the head guy of this building. Okay. And he's looking for this troll heart, which I guess that's a quest item that I haven't gotten yet. But basically, I'm going to go over the rough lowdown of how this place works. If you notice, he's standing on a pile of actual bones. That's what that pile is. It's bones. Okay. Now, each time you go into Ashran, you have to have this building for this to kick in. Okay, a lot of people go into Ashran and they're like, how come I'm not getting any bones? It's because obviously you probably don't have this building up yet. You have to have it at least level 1 inactive. Okay, in my bag right here, I think I still got some bones left over. I haven't done any today, so I only got 4 right now. Okay, and it's called Broken Bones. How this works is when you go to Ashran, the new PvP zone, and you're fighting against the enemy faction or whatnot, for each person you kill, you get roughly about 2 broken bones. Okay? Now, you don't have to get the full kill and blow on them to actually get the broken bones. It kind of works like honorable kills works in BGs compared to killing blows. Okay? So pretty much you just got to tag the enemy with a CC, a hit, or whatever. Just at least get a hit on the guy. Okay, so AoEs is really good for this. Okay, so that's why I got my warrior built right now, where I'm kind of using all the AoE abilities that I can. I'm using Blade, Storm, Dragon Raw, and Ravager, or whatever it's called. Okay, Ravager, that's it. Okay, so I'm trying to use what I can. Now, Ravage is a good one for the warrior in Ashram because it's a it's a range cast. You don't have to be close to them, okay, and things like that. So um, so in a case like that, I try to put out what I can as far as that goes. Let me just reply to somebody really quick. Okay, now for the broken bones, you're just going to click on the pile that he's standing on for the work orders. Okay? And when you have a good amount of broken bones, you just come here, you hand them in, and you start your work orders, just like any other building in your garrison. We're pretty familiar with the work orders by now. Okay? That's what's going to accumulate and give you your rewards or whatever. Okay? So the first thing you want to do is, of course, turn in those broken bones that you have. The more you have, the better. Okay? And then after a couple of hours, a day, or whatever, you're going to get this gold-looking pile next to it. That's actually what your last pile of broken bones have just given you. Okay, so if we click on that, we're going to see that I got quite a bit here. I made 140 gold, 429 honor points, a couple of apex crystals, which is used to buy the PvE gears. So I guess this building really isn't a waste for PvE gears. But again, 23 apex crystals really is not that much. But for honor points, that's a lot. Okay, so we got that. And then we have, once that screen goes away, so I could click on this thing, and we have those. Those are probably just junk as far as that goes. Okay, now with some of the other things that this place actually does for you, let's kind of go over that right now. There is, let me see right here. Okay, as you build it to level 2 and 3, at level 2 you get what they call the Nemesis quest. After upgrading your Gladiator sanctum to level 2, you get a Nemesis hunters or hunted for the Alliance and the same for the Horde. This quest requires you to choose one of the faction races. So basically, once you get to level 2 and you get those quests, okay, they give you achievements. So if you're into collecting achievements or whatnot and things like that, that's something else you could do with this building. And then at level 3, you get access to something called a High Mall Coliseum. Now, the High Mall Coliseum, once you're level 3, you receive something called the Call of the Gladiator, which unlocks the Coliseum tournament. After queuing for the tournament, you get to turn in this quest and you'll receive Fight, Kill, Salute, which completes the Warlord of Draenor, and the same for Alliance and Horde factions. Okay? It requires you to kill 100 other players in the Coliseum. Okay, simply put, the Coliseum is a free-for-all arena in which you compete against 29 other players. The last guy living is the one that gets the booty. Okay, he gets all the rewards. Okay, and most of the times it's going to contain a 620 combatant PvP honor piece. And it could also have some honor points or whatnot. Okay, so basically this building is a great resource outside of anything else you do to, get honor points and conquest and things like that, mainly honor points. It gives you a lot more as far as that goes, than it does conquest points. But like I said earlier, I did get conquest once. I got about 80 or 90 of them, which was not bad. So you come here, you get this kicked off with some broken bones once you get some at Ashran, turn them in over here, and then when you're off doing your arenas, RBGs, and stuff like that, just let this building work its magic in the background, and you're getting resources 2 ways. They actually claim that somebody who has this building that plays just as much and does just as much arenas and things like that as somebody who doesn't have this building could probably gear up, especially the honor gear set, 40% faster. So it's a great resource to have if you're a PvP player with your garrison setup. Okay, now here we are at the new Alliance town called Storm Shield, and I just want to show you guys a few things while we're at it. Get my trusty Panther here. You know what? I'm going to use my motorcycle. Okay. Now, I know a lot of people are still asking in trade, and in guild chat, and all that stuff. Where are these PvP vendors? Very easy. You do not have to go into Ashran anymore. That was beta. To buy your PvP gears. So you don't have to worry about that stupid queue and all that stuff. To get your gears. They're right here. Right by the target dummies. The target dummy that kills everybody. That's a protection target dummy, by the way. That's the reason why that target dummy is designed to do that. And right by this big army tank, or whatever you want to call it right here. Here is your conquest guy. And standing next to him is the honor vendor. Okay? Now, a few things I want to go over with this. Okay, so let's see here. Let me actually open up my thing here. Let me see. Okay, now if you notice, the actual price of the items or the gears are still the same that they were in Mr. Pandaria or MOP. Okay. They still cost the same amount of currencies or conquest or honor points. Okay, 1750, 1250, and all that good stuff. But now, if we go down to here, player versus player, rated, and we look at our bar of conquest points for the week. Okay, you can see I'm full. I'm going to save mine for next week, so I always have some left over. Okay, so the reason why I'm doing this is because if you notice in gray, where it says maximum reward, total, all sources, and Ashran bonus, okay, you only cap out at 1700 now. In MOP it was like 2200, and then people had extended caps and then rated caps, where they were able to get more caps per week, okay? And then we have all sources. Now at one time, to get this fully capped, you had to do most bars between arenas, RBGs, BGs, or whatnot to get this up there, okay? And then the last 400 or 200, you needed to do RBGs to get your full cap for the week. Okay, following me so far? They changed it now. You don't have to do RBGs now to get that cap. You don't even have to do any RBGs if that's not your thing. You could do it all with arenas, but you need to do 200 of it with Ashran. Okay, so to finish off your cap, you have to do at least 200. You got to get that 200 cap from doing Ashran stuff, which we'll explain later on in a different video about Ashran. Okay. So that's basically how you get your full cap now. But if you notice, like I says, we only got the 1700. So your first week, the only thing you're going to be able to buy is like rings, necks, things like that. That's only 1250, because you're going to still be 50 points shy of getting these pieces, because they're 1750 and you only got 1700. Okay, so that's why we're kind of, me and a couple of my buddies that I do a lot of this stuff with, we decided that we're going to keep our cap for next week so we could buy a really nice big piece. Okay, so I want to make that clear so you guys know that they did lower that. Now, my guy right now has the combatant gears mainly. I have a few of these kind right here, which is only the item level 600 until I upgrade those. I'll probably just wait till I get the conquest for that and whatnot. So, you know, you can play it the way you want. You know, this is just a little bit of advice I wanted to pass along as far as that goes. Okay, so moving on. I'm just going to show a little PvE coverage right here for anybody who's new to this expansion right now, and PvE is more their thing, or they play both in the game, which is cool. I used to always play both, but lately I've been just involved in the PvP side of things. Over here is your PvE vendors now, if you want to buy these pieces. Okay, and they're 655 for the Apex crystal pieces. Okay, which was like what the Valor pieces used to be, is what these are now. Okay. The conquest pieces now are 5 points higher base stat level, item level, than the PvE pieces. Okay. The conquest pieces are 660 and they jump up to 690 in a PvP zone, even world and duels from what I understand. So that's all working now in this expansion, and Moppet didn't work correctly. So that's the reason why a lot of PvE geared guys were pretty much dominating even PvP players out in the world because they had a much higher item level and they also had the resilience, which is now the resilience, as we know, and the PvP power now is removed from the game. And the easy fix for that is just get whatever set you get in the game is going to give you that 30-point increase item level when you enter that certain situation or scenario or whatever. Really what I wanted to cover this time around in this video. Again, the Ashran video, I'll be coming out with that soon. So again, I thank you so much. If you have any comments, questions, anything like that you want to leave below, feel free to do so. I thank you again for watching Wise Gamer, and we'll be coming out with some new videos soon covering Warlords of Draenor. You guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.